Everyone, hi. Bruce Moffson, SUNRIDGE of Nevada, coming with you with another topic. We are live. I apologize for the delay. Traffic today was insane, and I just apologize, all I'm going to say. But I am here. Okay, what I want to talk about is this. Today's topic, we discussed this before when we were doing the promo, is what are the current trends today in mental health? And these trends don't just affect you and me, and I want to clarify this, but everyone else out there that's dealing with mental health issues and concerned. It's like putting a pebble into a pond, and that ripple effect is just incredible and unbelievable. Okay, now, we felt this topic was important because by knowing what's going on around you, it can give you some insight into self-awareness into what you're coping with. Okay, as always, I will be using facts from mental health articles and publications, statistics that I think are relevant, and stories and things that I've noticed myself from working with so many people. The way I'm going to break it down is what are current statistics, issues with drugs and alcohol and suicide, and finally, my own thoughts and resiliency issues I want to bring up later in the end. All right, here we go. Oh, and also, after I finish, take about half an hour, I'm going back to our comments. I want to start thanking people again for all that you've done and all the great comments you've sent us. And we're going to be thanking a lot of people as well. So here we go. What are the five most common mental health issues that people in America are facing today? The number one is anxiety disorders. Then you have depression. You have ADHD, substance abuse and addictions, and eating disorders. Okay, now, when you say when I talked about, for instance, anxiety disorders, what does that consist of? That consists of acute stress disorder, PTSD, generalized anxiety disorder, and panic disorder, and agoraphobia. Those are the big ones. Not agoraphobia, I'm sorry, but panic disorder, and go from there. Now, what do I see? But most by far is a ton of PTSD and trauma. Okay, that are often not diagnosed, and as a result, people are dealing with stress and anxiety on top of it. To me, it looks like I would clarify it like this. The PTSD, when you go have dinner, that's the entree. And the anxiety and the stress are like the two side dishes. I got fries and I got a salad to go with that. Those are the things that come on the side. I got some hush puppies, some mashed potatoes. But, you get those two sides. But that PTSD, that is the big one. That's the big boy. Okay. Now, when you say things like stress and anxiety and things that are often not diagnosed, what are we talking about? Sexual, physical, emotional, and mental. All various types of abuse that people are dealing with. And then stress and anxiety come along with it. Depression, huge, growing. Okay. From what I have read, depression is at an all-time high. And I see that in a lot of the young people that I work with. Just in general, depression just continually goes up and up and up. And many of the comments that we've gotten from people like yourselves who have given us comments are people who are dealing with depression issues and how they're trying to cope with it. Teenage depression, give you an idea about this. Teenage depression from 12 to 17 went up 52% from 2009 to 2017. Now, number three, I'm sorry. First one was the anxiety, second was the depression, and now the third is the ADD, ADHD. I'm not seeing as much of that as I used to years ago. I always felt it was overdiagnosed and that people look for meds for an answer. And I think people today looking more at alternatives. When I was doing this about 10, 15 years ago, ADHD, ADHD was nonstop, ongoing. And it was always like, put them on meds, get that Ritalin, get that going. And people are starting to realize you don't really always need to go to that route. There are other alternatives like self-control, staying focused. You don't have to go with the ADD, ADHD. When I would do these peer-to-peers, every time the doctor would be talking to me, it was like, so Bruce, did you put them on medication yet? Are they on medication yet? Today, any families under the age of 40, any kind of parenting unit will say to me, I'll do therapy, I'll do counseling, no more medications unless it's absolutely necessary. People are kind of walking away from that. Okay, now, number 4 they have there, substance abuse and addiction. I'm going to discuss this a little bit more later, but so many people have addiction issues. And just think of all the rappers and musicians that we've covered in the last several years that were lost due to substance abuse issues that include drugs and alcohol. It's a crazy number. And the last one is eating disorders, anorexia and bulimia. Okay, you might think like, why is this one in there in the first place? We did a video about a year ago, and we did middle school girls, and I was kind of like taken aback at how many kids, even at young as like third, fourth, fifth grade, are having issues with eating, where even the families are saying to them, "You're a little bit heavy, you get a little bit big," and even young girls that age are already conscious of their body, how much they weigh, what kind of outfit can they wear. So you may think it's a problem that you normally see in high schools, colleges, the bulimia and the anorexia, the mean girls. Wrong. It's happening much, much earlier, and it's affecting a lot more teens. We're a lot more self-aware about body size today. We're not like fat shaming all the time, but what women go through every single day, including guys, like to look slim, to look thin, to look great, is, I get it. You want to have a healthy appearance, but it's gotten a little bit to the point where even this young, people are already feeling that stigma. I got to look great. Okay, now, in any given year, 1 out of every 5 adults have a mental health illness. That's 20% of the population. You're talking, how many people live in America today? 350 million. You're talking roughly 48, almost 50 million people today have had mental health issues. And it affects not just, we try and talk about like the preventative aspect, that we want people to realize it's not just about affecting you. It affects everyone around you. If I'm having depression, if I'm having substance abuse issues, any kind of mental health problems, who is going to be affected? It's not just me. Be my wife, my kids, my colleagues, my friends, my family, my extended family on both sides. So you got to realize it affects so many more people. So like every one person, who does it really affect? More like 10, 15. So you got to start realizing just the vast cost of the money it costs just to like cope with mental illness that affects so many people. All right. Now, also, serious mental illness between 2008 and 2018, a 10-year gap, is up. Serious mental illness is up by almost 25%. Over half of U.S. adults with a behavioral health disorder have at least 4 chronic diseases. And this is not really shocking, but what are the big ones? Hypertension, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and a stroke. Not surprising, because it's not just mental health that's going to be affected. It's going to be your physical health as well. Mental health, medical health. There's 6,000 years ago, the Greeks said the status of the body, how your body will react, is in your stomach. So if your stomach is healthy, like how you eat, how you go to the bathroom, do you have bloating? Do you have gas? Do you have diarrhea? What's your menstrual cycle like? You're always like nauseous. Can you sleep at night? If your body is always burping and gasping and bloated, it's a sign that your mental health is affected as well. And what do they just learned now? That certain veins and arteries go from your stomach all the way up to your head. So what you eat, is going to affect you as well. And your mental health is going to affect what your digestive system is like. It makes sense. Why is the rates of diabetes, hypertension, stroke, and heart attack going up? Because so many people are struggling to keep their mental health in check, and it's affecting their digestive system, which affects you medically. It makes sense. Okay, now, the overall growth, why we're really seeing such a high rise in mental illness, is really just generally our wheelhouse of people, 18 to 25-year-olds. In every article you see over and over and over again, the 18 to 25-year-old is affected tremendously. We got our first comment. Our favorite British guy, Josh Byrne. Sometimes the body is a reflection of the mind. Bingo. Very good, Josh. And thank you again for what you did last time. We much appreciate it. Totally, totally true. The reflection, yes, the body is a reflection of the mind. What's coming in here is going to affect what's coming here. Perfect. Thanks, Josh. Great comment, great point. Okay, so what's going on with the top 5 of disorders that we're seeing the most of? 2.5 million people have schizophrenia. 6.1 million people have bipolar. 16 million people live with major depression, and 42 million live with anxiety disorders. That's a lot of people. I mean, that's like a country and a half in itself that are suffering. And we're seeing increased rates of, by the way, of autism spectrum, disorders. Why? Probably only because we're much better at identifying it and seeing what it looks like. 20 years ago, it was like an unknown disorder. People didn't really know and talk about it. Now it's everywhere. So we're a little bit better at understanding it, where it's coming from. Now, I want to go into alcohol. More than a quarter of all adults in the U.S. report binge drinking in the past 30 days. What's a binge drinking episode? Drinking 5 or more drinks at a single setting. Okay, and 2.5% of teenagers, about 6 million, have an alcohol use disorder. Why is that a problem? Because we know now from statistics and from research, the earlier you start drinking, the earlier you start drinking heavily, the more like it's going to follow you as you get older. All right. Each year, more than 5,000 people under the age of 21 die as a result of underage drinking. So not just car accidents, it's falls, it's burns, it's drownings. There's tons of alcohol being consumed by young people who are not ready for that responsibility. And I see a ton of young people get sucked into underage drinking. Dare, come on, do it, easy accessibility to alcohol. Okay, try and figure out why you need to be drinking so much. Remember, hereditary factors. That's a huge aspect. If your family is susceptible to heavy drinking, your genetic makeup makes you more likely to be a heavy drinker as well. Okay? Here, my dad drank. He got violent. He got angry. I didn't want to be like my father. So when I drank, I knew in my own head, keep it light, keep it low, and not lose control emotionally and behaviorally and start doing things you're going to regret later. All right. Going to go right now to segue to drugs. From 1999 to 2017, more than a little over 700,000 people died from a drug overdose. That's pretty much the equivalent of the city of Detroit, dead, okay, in a very short amount of time, not even a full decade. 2017 was the worst year ever from the CDC, Center for Disease Control, overdose death. It finally dropped a bit in 2018, but what happened in 2017? 72,000 people died from an overdose. Okay, every 11 minutes, someone in America dies from a drug overdose. In 2018, they did an analysis of opioid-related overdose deaths. Synthetic opioids, such as fentanyl, which is huge in America, most of it coming from China, has surpassed prescription opioids as the most common drug involved in overdose deaths in the U.S. Most of it coming from China, has surpassed prescription opioids as the most common drug involved in overdose deaths in the U.S. Have to find something else to fill that need. Enter heroin, enter fentanyl. Okay, they talk about kratom. It's an organic pain reliever. It's very, very addictive. We get it. And it's also disguised as an opioid. Very, very deadly. Synthetic drugs, spice. I saw a ton of spice about 7-8 years ago. It was everywhere in Vegas and everywhere in the country. Was selling it like out of smoke shops. But I'm seeing less and less of that, and that's probably due to tougher federal laws over the last couple of years. That was a bad drug, by the way. Anyone I saw that took spice even once was never the same again. Biggest one now here is methamphetamine. That's all I see in Las Vegas, and it's just nonstop. Okay, let me clarify something. We're not here to go like this, like, you're a bad person, you're bad if you take drugs. We're not doing that. That's not the point. What I'm talking about is just to be aware of where you're at. If you have a problem, go talk to someone. Don't end up dead. So many of the musicians that we've covered in the last several years, I think about a dozen at the top of my head, are no longer with us. Why? Overdose issues with both alcohol and drugs. We're being surrounded by alcohol and drugs. It takes away inhibitions and makes you do things you wish you wouldn't have done years later. That's all we're talking about. Go ahead and talk to somebody. Okay, and also realize this, if one drug's not going to fit the bill or not going to be available, another drug's going to come take its place. Just a fact of life. Okay, this is a biggie now. This is regarding suicide. Okay, the past 20 years, the suicide rates have been rising rapidly, ironically, in every other state but Nevada. We've kind of stayed the same. Suicide rates have increased by almost 30% in more than half the states, which is insane. Another comment, Kevin Soto. What do you think about the use of psychedelics such as LSD and mushrooms to treat certain mental illnesses such as PTSD, anxiety, a rather new field of study. Great comment, great question. Here's the deal, Kevin. I'm all in favor of it. If a drug that's appropriately used and has the research behind it and enough studies to show to help people, all means. But when I see people taking that stuff without knowing what they're getting, I've only seen disaster occur. So yes, there's certain field trials. I know the VA is looking at it. If they can help people, by all means, not one size fits all, but just be very, very careful where you're getting it from. That's all. But yes, it's a rather new field of study. I've read articles on it. Nothing wrong with it if it's used in the right way and to help people, particularly veterans. Okay. Here's another. Here we go. Okay. Get to you in a second. Here's another thing also. Suicide is the second leading cause of death now for people ages 15 to 24. It's rising. Who gets hit the most? American Indians and Alaskan Natives, highest risk for suicide. Male suicide rates 3 times that of females, although females are catching up. And 40% of those identifying as transgender have attempted suicide in their lifetime. If you go to college, that's become now the second leading cause of death is suicide. They've been surging suicides in colleges for people going away, having a hard time coping and focusing. Annual suicide rate increased basically 25% between 1999 and 2014. And due to the stigma surrounding suicide, it is suspected that suicide rates are actually underreported. Correct. Very correct. Here's the deal. When you see that stuff, and I saw an article once that really explained suicide very, very well. They had a medical examiner from Minnesota to look at several different counties. He thinks suicide is actually 3 times the amount. We have about 50,000 people a year that commit suicide in the United States. He thinks it should be basically 3 times, will be like 150,000 people. Okay, why would that be? All right, here's the reasons. You're looking at religious reasons, you're looking at cultural reasons, you're looking at financial reasons, and you're looking at family issues. You don't want to destroy the family. So he saw a lot of things that people were doing things that were obvious suicide attempts and being successful at, so to speak. And he realized people were doing different things to keep the stigma lower. It's kind of interesting because I realized even for my own religion, Judaism, Orthodox Judaism, there's such a change in how suicide is looked at today. African-American culture has had changing thoughts about it, but there's a huge stigma if you commit suicide, which is slowly changing. They're now seeing it as a mental health issue, not as a failure of you as a person. All right. Now, another thing also, we've been seeing surging death rates from the big 3, suicide, drug overdoses, and alcoholism, what researchers refer to as deaths of despair. They're largely, this is like odd, but we have now seen a decline in life expectancy for the first time in a century. Life expectancy has dropped because so many people have done these things to themselves for the first time since 1915 to 1918. 2017, a little over 47,000, up from 42,000 in 2014. And again, I think it's vastly underreported, but people do a lot because financial reasons, they want that insurance policy. Religious reasons, you want to be buried appropriately. Family issues, you don't want to destroy the family. So there's all these cultural males. Okay, now these topics are vast, and I'm just covering the surface barely. Okay, fine. But the goal is to look at the issue, the issues that are often in the dark, and get you to think about them, get you to talk about them, and to get you to take action about them. If you don't talk about things, you never see any kind of change. Let me just clarify something about that. I grew up in a house where we had secrets my whole life. Secret this, secret that. You thought we were James Bond. Everything was secrets, 007. What we really had was 000, double 000. Because all those secrets, what did we get out of it? 0. Nothing was accomplished. Nothing was ever talked about. Shh, shh, shh. And I find so often in homes that are dealing with mental illness, what's the response? Shh. Or the classic, the threesome. Don't hear it. Don't see it. Don't talk about it. And what happens? You suffer needlessly. It's not worth it. Okay. So many people that I see today doing in counseling are miserable and unhappy and dealing with depression due to trauma and undiagnosed PTSD. And what happens is when they don't feel any options, they don't feel they can go anywhere, they end up making terrible choices. We don't want to see you do that. The whole purpose of this channel, and to see my big fat face coming up on your screen, and thank you for all of you that have watched it over the last several years, is to have a preventative aspect. I don't want to see you guys in counseling. I don't want to see you guys in psychiatric hospitals. I don't want to see you guys wasting time and money and effort into therapy that's not working. The goal of this channel is to give you the insight to start saying, you know what? I don't have to be helpless anymore. I can think on my own. I can be creative. I can be smart. The whole idea of giving you these statistics, what's the purpose of it? Because I want you to think about that. I don't want you to be another statistic. I want you to have a healthy, fulfilling life. The best thing for us, when we hear people tell us, like, wow, I thought about something, you said something to me, gave me the confidence to go on. That's the way I want you to think. You can do it, okay? And here's the irony. More than ever, I mean, I just pick up my phone. I can connect with people literally from around the world, everywhere, instantaneous, pictures, video. But guess what? It doesn't seem to be doing the trick. We have all these ways to talk to each other, meet each other, get to know each other, and we're miserable. We're still so unhappy. Because and this is just my opinion clinically, what we're doing when we do that, it's not real. It's almost like it's artificial. It's like, you go get ice cream and like, oh man, I can't wait to have that ice cream. Then they tell you, get the ice cream, bring it home. No fat, no calories, no taste, and enjoy. It's great, but you're not getting the full sensation. It's like artificial everything. I think we're so plugged into artificiality to a certain sense, we're not real. And people are not having those connections that used to be like, that's my best friend. That's my girlfriend from high school. We stay in touch, not just with and I'm not knocking, of course, social media. We love social media. That's how we get our message out. But how do we get our message out? You got to have that physicality in a relationship. Hearing someone on the phone, seeing someone with their face to face. That's what I'm trying to talk about. So I think there's something to that. And to me, it screams that we need that physical, connection on some level. In other words, get out there, be physically connected. Don't always be you spending your entire time in front of the computer. That's my point. We talk about exercise all the time. They talk about it in every article, get out there and exercise. But it's more than just exercise. It's being committed physically to be out there, be available, be accessible, be approachable. Now, we are going to be moving out really soon our latest feature on mentorship and leadership. That's coming, everybody, so be prepared. But I'm also going to talk about resiliency. And I want people to understand what that really is, what it is, how to get it, and how to use it. Because the idea is if you can be resilient in life when things happen, and they often happen negatively, how do you go forward with it? How do you keep it inside you? And how do you able to take it out when you need it to go forward when things don't go well? Perfect example is today. I left somewhere to go. I thought I had plenty of time to get here. And you know what? I got here later than I wanted. But what did I do? I didn't panic. I didn't scream. I didn't shout. I didn't call my producer and say, I'm not coming today. I'm done. I'm on the side of the road crying. I got in my car. I got on my phone. I said, this route's not working. All I can see is a sea of red. What do? Took me off the highway. Loop today, I can't do it. I can't focus. You know who I am? I'm so important. No, I'm not that important. But you have the resiliency because this was important to get done. I was up last night late till 1 o'clock working on it. I was working on it today where I was at today. You don't give up. You're resilient. That's what I want to teach our people, our listeners, through the mentorship and leadership, how to be strong. Okay, because this will blend in with our goal of preventative thinking and being able to move forward on your own and having confidence and trust in yourself. Perfect. Okay, now I see the board's lit up. Perfect. Here we go. All right. Josh Byrne. I am not from Britain. I was born in Kenya and raised in New York. Did not know this. Sorry, Josh. All right, again, question to you. Where in New York are you from? Seems everyone you have is from New York. So where are you now? Where were you raised in New York, and where do you live now? Out of curiosity. All right, Allure Seals. Allure Seals. Hello, Bruce. Little hand clap there. Thank you. She's a great commenter. We've discussed you before. Thank you so much. Another comment right. Oh, she loves to comment. Thanks for talking about mental health. It should be talked about more. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And these are the kind of discussions, again, when we talk about them, it's to throw it out there, not to be afraid. If you don't talk about it, nothing happens. I just go back to my family. Can we have a discussion? No. So what happened? We never move forward. And, it's ironic because I'm looking at my producer / Asian / everything. All this came about this point where we are 4 years later because he said to me, Bruce, I think we can do something. I think we can do something more than what we're doing. And I had thought about it, but I didn't really have a direction. But that conversation sparked it for us, at least for me. And I can't thank him enough. But it's all started with that conversation. All right. So, again, throw out another one, 3 for 3. Very true. It should be talked about more. My family is the same way, always keeping secrets whenever something is going on personally. I myself like to talk about my feelings and work it out. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Don't hold secrets because guess what? Everyone knows anyway what's going on. The only people that don't know are the ones that should be making decisions. So yeah, don't keep secrets. It doesn't do anything, and everyone knows anyway. She threw another comment. Yes, that's what happens. I always felt miserable from certain situations. That happens in my life. You're spot on, Bruce. Thank you again. Yeah. Don't give up. Things will happen. Things are going to be negative. Here I killed myself last night and today. I thought, I'll be here on time like I always am. Never had a problem before. Today was crazy, but you don't give up. You stay focused. You stay in the saddle. You keep on moving forward. That's how you grow. Adversity makes you stronger. Doesn't make you weaker, but it's how you handle the adversity. I didn't beat my horn, beat my car, scream at the other pedestrians or the people driving. They didn't cause the problem. If I would do this all over again, I'd leave at 3:30, learn my lesson. I was the other side of town, really other side of town. Learn my lesson, fine. Okay. Okay, Schaefer the Act. I find most people are afraid of authenticity in my age group, which causes me to fear them, but we all crave it. It's maybe pluralistic ignorance. Are you real? Are you real? You're not real. Are you real? People actually question that all the time now. Are you real? Are you real? It's like you realize how people are so pegged now today. My kid was telling me he goes to high school across town. He's a bus guy. He goes back and forth on the bus. So the kid said to him at his school, which is inner city, basically, wait, you take the bus? You're ghetto. Where did that come from? But they defined for him, oh, you take the bus? You got to be ghetto. No. And just always with these comments, but they're going to define you. So I hear kids say all the time, are you real? Are you real? Are you real? This is going on a couple of years ago because kids today are so afraid to be authentic and be yourself. And you know what? I'm going to say this to you, Shayla the Act. You know what? Don't let it bother you because people are drawn to people that are themselves. And when you have to put on an act or put on a show for other people, it never works anyway. It's so interesting that Disney Plus has a show among their 8 billion shows where they have people going back, I think 20 years later to act out the high school musicals that they were in. And whatever the musical is, and what's the common theme from all these people that are now basically middle-aged, we're almost there. I wish about my gender, about my skin color, about the size of my nose, about how my teeth had a buck tooth. You realize, who cares? And they do the play all over again without any of that anxiety. Oh my God, people are going to laugh at me. I can't fit in the suit. I wear a coat. I wear a hat. I wear glasses. I have a disability. You realize now, who cares? Be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. Don't be part of the crowd. Lead the crowd. Because then people are going to come follow you. That's what I've learned. But when you're yourself, people sense that pretty quickly. All right. Oh, place is filling up. Okay. Swaggerhole, thoughts on touch salvation. Sometimes the lack of just platonic touch seems to really affect my mood. Yeah. I've said this before. The NBA had a study shown the teams that did this when they would have like a timeout or halftime, they went like this. The guys that did this were touch each other on the shoulder, were had physical contact, won on average 6 to 7 more games in a season than the teams that were like this. Nothing. I am a toucher, and I do that when I walk around where I work. I'm always constantly going like this. How you doing? How's everything, man? Hey, you look good. Appreciate what you do. Thank you. I do a lot of touching on the shoulder, on the back. You know, I'm respectful, of course, of women. Nothing overt, but it's like, hey, how you doing? How's everything? Touch, touch, touch. Hands, this. Hey, appreciate what you do. Makes a difference. People feel vested. Great leaders are among their people, among their troops, among their workers, among their coworkers. They're involved. So yes, excellent point. Platonic touch is a factor. Why do you think animals, when they first born, they rub up against their mother to get licked on, to get smelled upon, to breastfeed? The same thing with human beings. Babies, you pick them up, they come to the mom. They instinctively do that. They're looking for the touch. So don't be afraid to do that kind of stuff. That's what people want. It's genuine. It's real. You know, you're not like on top of it, like overt from it. Okay, Shayla, I lack certain types of affection. I have great family support, but nothing that's consistent in my age group. Hey, man, you know what? Be a trendsetter. Do it yourself. Hey, bro, how you doing? Do this. Okay? Do this. Appreciate what you do. You're a great friend. Thank you so much. Never be afraid to be the first person to do it. Okay? Never, never, never be afraid. One of our favorite commenters, CS. Hey, Bruce, hope you're doing well. Yes, I am. Appreciate your comments from the last live stream. You will be responded to. I've just been so busy. No apologies, just the reality of the situation. But I will get back to you. Trust me, CS. Thank you so much. Boom, another one. Shallow that. Thanks. Not a problem. Be yourself. Let us know what happens. I'm curious. Let us know from this when we put it out there. Did being genuine and being open make a difference to you? It's, you know, let me say something else about being genuine. I've gone to a million case stores, like to get a drink or to get like something to eat. And I'll tell someone, I'll say, you know what? You run a nice store. And they'll go like this to me, like, wow. Like, I know how hard retail is. 7-Elevens, you know, it's not easy. But I'll say to someone, you run a nice store. Because sometimes I'll see them like having a hard time with a customer, like the customer's getting themselves all jerky, making them crazy. I said, I worked retail. I get it. Everyone wants to get a pat on the back. At where I work, I tell the maintenance people every time I see them, this place is spotless because of you guys. And I've been to plenty of hospitals, plenty of programs. I could tell now if I see spider webs, if I see stuff on the floor, if I see the ceilings is dirty, if I see how the tiles look, how I look at baseboards, I look at bathrooms now. And I always say to them, you guys do a heck of a job. And there's always that same comment. You're the only person that ever said anything nice to us. I've gotten pizza for people, 5 pies. Thank you. Don't be afraid. Don't look at it this way. And everyone who's shooting in those comments, man, always look at it this way. Have a favor bank, but do way more deposits than withdrawals, meaning give it back to other people. That's what I do. Even my producer agent, who he hates to hear this, but screw him. I look at him as like a mentor. I respect him, tremendously. I will still say to him every time we do something, thank you. You did a hell of a job. Like, boom, you were dead on. Boom, once again, you caught it dead on. I can't thank him enough. And I want him to appreciate that. God willing, we want our child to be successful financially. But while we're in our growing years, so to speak, it's always to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it doesn't take anything. It's not like I'm it doesn't like, oh, I can't believe you did that. You're so amazing. No, it's common sense. People like to hear compliments because most of the day they spend is with like, you suck, you stink, you blow, you're not doing a good job. Be appreciative. I can't thank my producer, again, Mr. Everything, enough. So if people say, well, you said it, once, damn it, I'll say it again. It's not a problem. Show appreciation to people. Think of them. Don't worry about you getting something back. That's irrelevant. Who cares about that? What do I need more in my life? But if I can give someone else a compliment, make their day a little bit better, I'm happy to do so. Man, it is popping in. Okay. Shayla again. Thanks. No problem. CS, you could take some time to relax and treat yourself. I know it's hard, but you deserve it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. But here's the thing, too, I learned for myself. I only got so many years left, good years left. I want to make every one of them count. So I'm humping. That's the truth. If you guys are young, and most of our audience is pretty young, enjoy life. Take time to treat yourself. I'm not arguing about that. I'm in a bit of a different situation. One day I'll speak to everybody about that kind of stuff. But I'm in a situation where I got to make every day count and look at every hour as precious. And but believe me, I'm the first to say, take it easy, take a break, get some downtime, enjoy your hobbies. But I'm a pusher. That's just the kind of person I am. Okay, Paysell. Hey, what's up? Paysell, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Share with us what's on your mind. Share with us what you think about the video so far, the live stream. We much appreciate it. And Josh Byrne, we still want to hear from you. I want to know where you're living right now, if you are in England. But we want to say thank you again. You're a great fan and a great commenter, and we appreciate you very, very much. You see, actual reality. Someone want to say thank you to somebody. Okay, so there's no comments coming in right now, but I want to do is I want to go now to the comments and go from there. Okay, here we go. And we hit the first 2 pages, and I think we got everyone on the pages there before. Just in case I blew it, I want to go real quick and just throw some names out to say thank you, thank you. I want to say issues young black man. Okay, just Nick R said, he goes, this is from the Kid Cudi and Kanye West. Said, I love the dad-son dialogue. Thank you. Yeah, that's when I was ripping my kid for acting like an idiot. He liked that. Good. Brandon Harold, he's like the J. Cole KOD one. And he gave us a great compliment, talked about his issues as a young black man, said we're doing God's work. Thank you. That's a tremendous compliment. Massive Disaster, J. Cole breakdown. Sent us one comment on how the video helped him with his own issues that he was going through. Saul Rodriguez, Kid Cudi, Pursuit of Happiness, got really deep in thanking us on behalf of the millennials. And Starlight Wright, Kid Cudi, Pursuit of Happiness. That was a great song. Great comment on how I combine my clinical knowledge so people understand themselves. Okay, in case I missed anybody, I want to throw it out there. Okay, now let me hit number 3. And I see already we're getting more comments as going on. But Dre Harden, this came from J. Cole, Once an Addict. I mean, all these songs are so damn good. He gave us 2 in a row, by the way, Dre Harden, about Big Pharma, and then he used a quote, a clinical analysis commented from Angola, taking care of a problem right away. Clearly, we're popular with Angolians. We definitely have a group going on. But yes, William, thank you. That was a great comment. But here's the point again. I've learned this the hard way. If you got a problem, deal with it right away. Don't let it fester. Let people know what's going on and get help as soon as possible. Boom. Okay. Hey, could throw in some quick comments. Going to go respond right now. I think one day you should speak to us about your problems. Some say the ones that help the most are often the ones that need the most help. Just want to give back what you give to us. Hey, thank you. Thank you. And one day I will do that. CS, I will have a video talking about my own life because I feel if you guys are sharing, I should be able to share as well. So, yes, I will do that one day. I've been through a lot of trials and tribulations and just grateful to be here to doing what I'm doing now. I've been through a lot. So one day I'll get a chance and I will have a breakdown and I'll do a live stream just based on that. Be like an open book. Swaggerhole, any ideas on how to be less self-conscious in a social interaction? 2 words, be yourself. That's it. Just be yourself. If you like to wear like a shirt like this, a polo shirt, that's what you like to wear it. Okay. You like to wear Nikes, wear them. You like to wear a certain kind of clothing, go to a certain kind of food, go do it. Be yourself. Because people are so insecure about being themselves. They have so many labels and so many definitions for themselves. I hear this from my kids. Just be yourself. Be yourself. Don't worry about anything else. Be yourself. Let everyone else worry about it. When you watch teams playing sports, great teams, they don't worry about the other team. Great fighters. They're like, you know what? I remember this guy saying once, I don't care if this pitcher is a lefty or right. I'm still going to rock him against the wall. That's it. If you're a great athlete, you don't say to yourself like, oh, if I can get past this hitter, I can get to this hitter. We're a great quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, he didn't worry. He didn't care who he's playing. We're going to win the Super Bowl. We're down by 10. We're down by 14. Doesn't make a difference. We're going to come back. When you have that kind of mindset, that kind of authenticity, it's like a perfume. It's like a powerful body odor, not like BO, like a good smell people want to be around because you light up the room with your confidence. So when you're yourself, it affects you in sports, social situations, business. You're confident because you're yourself. People are going to say, oh, I don't like your opinion. I don't like your thoughts. That's fine. Be yourself. If you got an idea that you like, push it. Don't be afraid to be authentic, but be yourself. Okay. Did you ever listen to Earl's new album, Feet of Clay? If yes, what do you think? I have listened to it actually. The guy's fantastic. I mean, I know I say this a lot that I give all the credit actually to two groups. My producer, because he's always saying, Bruce, this is the next one I want you to break down. And to you guys who give us all these ideas on what groups to listen to. And then he listens to them. And then he kind of says, hey, Bruce, check out this album or this group. So it's kind of like a duality. It's great. It's a great album. He's so interesting to listen to. And as he grows, he becomes more mature. The songs have changed. It's like a fine wine getting better over time. So yes, I did, and I liked it very much. Swaggerhole, thanks for keeping it simple. Swaggerhole, not a problem. CS, I'm off to bed now, but I hope you have a great day. Take it easy and treat yourself right. Thank you for everything. Thank you. When I get a compliment, I always say thank you to everybody. But CS, thank you. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for what you share with us. It takes a lot of guts to you do what you're doing, and we will be in touch. Not a problem. So thank you. I'm sure we'll get some more comments coming in. All right. So William Cabeto, probably one of our furthest commenters away from the continent of Africa, but he wanted to thank us how to look at taking care of a problem and doing it right away. Okay. Massive disaster. He was a commenter before. J. Cole, how to become a better father. He was the guy that thanked us for doing the videos, and he felt that they had changed his life. He had multiple favorable comments over several videos. Yes, I remember those comments, Master. Thank you. I hope you're doing well with everything going on in your life, that things are stable, things are calm, and you're moving forward. Okay. Samuel, J. Cole, how to become a better father. The breakdown helped him see how J. Cole was turning out to be a better father than what he had seen growing up from his dad. Okay. I want to break that comment down a little bit. And we talked about this in the last live stream. The biggest problem to me, which you don't hear any of the mental health people talking about, was the absence of fathers. And I think to me, that is the biggest problem. One of the biggest problems in America and the world today is the absence of real men in the home being involved with their kids. And the guy that commented about the dialogue between my son and myself about a year and a half ago, I have to say that things between my son and myself are a lot better. And you know why? I never gave up. I was always pushing, always being supportive, trying to be quote, quote, real with him about telling him when things didn't make any sense what he was talking about. But I didn't just walk away. I didn't just go like, curse words and screaming and throwing things. He's having a rough time in his life. Is he made leaps forward? Absolutely. Am I much happy with his progress lately? Absolutely. Is he still a work in progress? Yes. But I didn't give up. If you're a father, you got to be in the mix. You got to be involved. And that so many kids today don't have that. And it's depressing going into home after home after home. And because you don't have a father to look up to, boys and girls, you end up making horrible, horrible mistakes with your life. I don't want to see you do that. Okay. So thank you, Saul. That was a great comment. And, I've talked about this before in my own life. I did not have a father really to look up to as a role model. He was a hitter, hit my mom. I always say this again, hit my mom. And he was very fair, but not treating my sister and I differently. He hit us both equally. And as we got older, he got older. There was a lot of verbal abuse, a lot of emotional abuse, and it affected my sister. And I know it affected me. So I didn't want to be like my father. So if you see something that makes you like disgusted, don't be like your dad. You can do better. Okay. All right. Scott, Kid Cudi, Pursuit of Happiness. How I understood Cudi, and he said, Kitty and I are goats. I'll give it to Cudi. I'm not going to take that comment, but thank you. It's a very nice thing that you said. Starlight Right, Kid Cudi, Pursuit of Happiness, liking how I broke the video down from a clinical perspective and how people play games. Yeah, you know what? People that play games, those mind games, passive aggressive, run from them. Be with people that are authentic. I give him honestly one of the reasons, one of the million and one reasons why I like my agents again, blah, 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 everything, is that he's real. I don't have to play mind games. I don't have to figure out what's going on. He's like, Bruce, we're doing this. Bruce, we're doing this. Bruce, we're doing this. Bruce, here's your feedback. I can't thank the guy enough. It's like everyone you deal with like is so fake. But here, he's great. He's just so authentic. There was a great comment that Robert Redford made when he shot the movie The Horse Whisperer. He actually met the guy that was the model for like the guy who did it. And he said, you know, you live in Hollywood like I have for like 50 years and you meet so many people that are just such phonies. He said he's one of the few people I ever met that was absolutely 100% genuine. And I watched a documentary on the guy. Oh, my childhood was rough. Bad. Bad. Okay. I'm not going to get into the stories he was talking about on air, but they were quite horrifying. And he finally got pulled out of that crazy home, met some really wonderful people. He's still in contact with them. Of course, they're elderly now. He grew up and he learned, he said, this is not the way to treat horses. And he learned how to do it differently without the whip and without the terrifying them. And he's now goes around the country doing these classes and seminars, but genuine. And he came from a horrible background. And he said, I don't want to be like this. And he's married, he has a daughter. She's now in her 20s, but you could see he's just a genuinely warm, normal individual who worked on himself. Okay. We got a comment from B, Life and Death, a Little Peep. The comment was the person was an aspiring therapist. B, I hope you're going forward with your career. Working with people to help them grow is a great thing to do. And I wish you all the best in your career. And talk their own issues, very open about it. And Enadel Rocha, if I'm blowing the names, not on purpose. Life and Death, a Little Peep, another great another GOAT comment. We've gotten several GOAT comments. And for those that have compared me to GOAT, thank you. I'm far from it, but I appreciate the comment. Thank you. His own mental health issues, again, asks us for advice. We responded a couple of times. Crestfallen Soul, The Life of Chester Bennington, Part 2. Comment on how we responded to her and how much it meant to her as she has been dealing with her own issues in her own life. Again, anyone that shared with us and opened up about their own issues, you know what? I'm not worthy. It takes a lot of guts to do that. I don't know if I could do that. So when people have done that, thank you. Boom, we got some comments in here. Okay. Paysell, what's the best way to move on from someone that you really love deeply? I've been out of a relationship for about 6 months. Just can't let go of my past lover. I feel like it's holding me back. Totally understandable. Here's the thing. You're going to have those memories. You know, you're going to have those feelings about that person. But the relationship is over. And now take what you've learned from that relationship and move on to the next one and find someone that's going to appreciate you for who you are. That's okay. Don't worry about it. You know, I've had people, I dated a lot of women when I was growing up, blah, blah, blah. You know, still have, I don't have any contact with any of them anymore. I'm married for a long time. But I'm just saying it's okay. You know, you love them. Keep the memories. Keep the happy thoughts. Keep the photos. Don't burn anything. Don't throw anything away. And now it's time to move on. Okay. Yeah. We're, and to a certain extent, we're afraid of the possibilities of meeting somebody new. But that's what love is taking chances. So what I'm saying to you is don't be afraid. Go forward, put your toe in the water, and get back in there and let us know how you're doing. Also, he threw another comment. What's the best way to deal with a narcissistic father? Whew. Okay, what does the literature say? The literature says you got to get away. Okay, if you're with somebody that's not good for you, what I say is since it's your father, it's a little different. I don't want to talk disrespectful about your dad because he did give birth to you. So what I'm saying is show him respect, show him that you respect him, but then move on with your life. People that have those issues, they don't change. So narcissistic narcissistic thinking, you're not going to see someone really grow from that. So but it's your dad. It's a little different. It's one thing if it was like a best friend or former best friend or a coworker. That's a different story. But if it's your dad, show respect. Ultimately, you got to show respect. Find the good things about him that you like. Accept that he's not perfect. And when it's your father and mother, that's the hardest thing to realize as you grow up. Your parents are human. Because when you're a little kid, you look at them as gods. Understandably, they take care of you. But as you get older, you begin to see that they have chinks and flaws in their armor like everybody else. As much as I think I'm an amazing father to my kids, I'm sure they think of me in their own room. Dad's a loser. Dad's an idiot. Dad smells. Dad looks hideous. Blah blah blah. It's the way it comes. Dad didn't do this. Dad didn't do that. That's okay. When it comes to parents, show them the respect. That's all. Show respect. Get what you can out of the relationship. That's positive because not everything is always going to be 100% negative unless it's a crazy relationship. And then be able to move on, but move on with confidence. That's all I'm going to say. I saw a thing. Thank you for the advice and feedback. Really appreciate it. Good luck. Let us know how you're doing and how you're moving forward with your own life and how how you're going forward. It's what we want to hear. Okay. Now, I think we're done in the queue for right now. Boom, crestfallen soul. Okay, now we're going to go on to our next page. And on page, I think I have 9 pages of this stuff. Starlight Right again. She was really like obviously Chester Bennington. And she said, talk about the comments I made about my friend Phil. Yeah, okay. I'll be honest. If I could have to pick the father I would have liked, it would have been Phil Tritt. He was a great guy. He came to my synagogue a number of years ago. He retired as a New York City principal. Warm, friendly, down-to-earth guy. He was the perfect father for everybody. At least it would have been for me. I got to know him. I got to know him well. Just a wonderful person and very kind. Always asking how I was doing. Would always say to me, Bruce, I can't believe what you did. When I talk about my work, he goes, I was a principal for 25 years, blah, blah, blah. For many years, I don't know how many years it was exactly, but he said, I had social workers all the time. You would have been perfect for my school. You talk real. You talk the truth. Just a nice guy. He moved with his wife. She took a job. She was also as a teacher in education, and they had moved to Long Island, and I just talked to him on the phone, and he passed away about 2.5 years ago. I actually spoke a few months ago to service about him. I just said what a great guy he was. And his widow thanked me for saying that. And she said, he really liked you. Great guy. Yeah. And she also gave us improvements how to improve the channel. So thank you. Nata Messi, The Life of Chester Bennington. That was a popular video. Great comment on thanking us for making the videos. Talk about how we stayed connected. Basically, they could not believe that we did it with real responses. We've gotten that before from other people. And that was one of the things that we said we were going to do from the very beginning was respond to everybody. Even if you make a nasty comment or you're angry about something, or you ticked off at me what I said, I don't take it personal. All I'm going to say is thank you for commenting and thank you for watching and thank you for commenting. Nothing personal. You're entitled to your feelings. And we don't get angry about it. And that was something that for him, I think Nata was a guy, but he was really impressed that we stayed in touch. And that's something we wanted to do was create our own community, our own little world of letting people know that how we were active and how we were going to be involved with people. Okay. Black Sushi, Triple X, Suicide Depression. Said I should legit teach a class. Said that we melt his brain. Thank you. That's a nice comment and much appreciated. Shannon Brown, Triple X, again, Suicide Depression. So if I had more people like myself, many people would be saved. He was from the UK. Okay. Shannon, thank you. I mean, our plans are to continue to grow the channel, put out more content, put out more classes. We want to grow. That is our goal. We see growth as inevitable and predictable, actually. And it's taken us to a level we never thought possible. So we're going to go forward with it. Thank you. Yes. Belays, X again, talked about losing several siblings to suicide. The videos have been a great source of comfort. Thank you. I can't even imagine what you're dealing with and the grief and the loss. And my thoughts go out to you. I think that's what I pretty much said. Pretty much probably what I said in the comment. I get it. It's not easy. And if these videos give you a chance to look at them and you can look at them again and say, this helped me, that's what the channel was created for. So thank you. We really, really appreciate that. Okay. Here's one of our friends. We know him quite well, DeAndre Avery. And this isn't a death of Prodigy. Talked about how much he liked the video. Big supporter. Thank you, DeAndre. We like what you do as well. Matthew Adams, Kendrick Lamar Feel. So it was a great analysis so that he now understood fear a lot better and what it did to him. Thank you. Sometimes with these artists, what I find is that there's so many layers. It's like looking at a cake of layer after layer of insight that when you break it down from a clinical perspective, it gives people a chance to see things they would maybe not have seen on their own. So grateful that the song was helpful and the breakdown, you enjoyed the breakdown as well. Okay. This we saw Justin Initiative, Kendrick Lamar Fear. The breakdown showed that I had seen a lot and talked about his background in psychology. Great. We've had numerous people, I'd say about half a dozen, talk about their own background in mental health. So if we give you anyone, some confidence to use what we do, use it. It's there to be used. Poor Formula, Kendrick Lamar Fear. He wrote he's a Native American here. Huge fan of Kendrick. Just liked how he wrote it. And that's something else I want to share what's so great about music. It crosses all cultural lines. It crosses all borders. So it doesn't matter where you are. You could be on a reservation, somewhere in the Southwest. You could be in the United States and say in Buffalo, New York. You can be in Europe, Asia, South Africa. But if you see an artist that you like, it resonates. It resonates. Good for you guys. Enjoy it. Again, don't get caught into, well, you can't like Kendrick because you're an American Indian. That's crazy. He doesn't say that in his mind. So don't get into that mindset. Be open. If you like something and you enjoy it, go after it. Oh, we got some questions here. I'm going to get some rest now, but please keep up the great work, Bruce. Thank you. You're out here helping people, and you're a great person for that. Peace and much love to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ali Arsenal, oh, we know you. Hey, man, hope all is well. Thank you, thank you. It's all good. Got a chance to do another live stream, and I live for this stuff, so it's much appreciated. Thank you. Okay, Rodolfo Soto, Kendrick Lamar. This was a good interesting comment. This is on fear. He says, because we were doing at the time really long breakdowns, and this was 42 minutes on fear. And he goes, it felt like 2 minutes. Awesome video. Thank you. That's a huge compliment. When you can watch something and let the time go by, that shows you've done something to the audience. So thank you very much for that comment. Sean Balat, Kendrick Lamar. He goes, dog, I'm about to watch 42.56 minutes of Kendrick Lamar's breakdown on fear. Ha ha. Damn straight I'm a fan, boy. I'm a fanboy. We put people through the ringer. So I appreciate that people have the confidence or the willingness, whether it took the NyQuil, to stay up with a Sominex, to stay up that long to watch a video. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Triple K, Templar King, Kid Cudi Confused Part 2. Nice comment on how he liked the videos in the channel and talked about his own mental health issues. I see some comments in the queue. Okay, Ali Arsenal, I hope all is well. Woogie Boogie, hey, all right. Thank you for joining us. I hope all is well, my friend. Outstanding. I'm happy to be here. I live for these moments to make these videos. I love them. I love interacting with our fans. I love the creative content that goes into this. It's like people say, give an example. Just to do this video probably took me about 10 hours. And it's for half an hour. So I had to read tons of material, find things I thought was relevant, write it out, ink out what I liked, put it together. Didn't like this, got to go back to this. No problem. The time flies by. Look at the clock. It's like, where'd the time go? I love doing this, and I love talking to you guys, and I love hearing your feedback. So keep on throwing the comments and the suggestions and the thoughts and the questions. Love them all. Okay. I think we're almost out of time. So I'm just going to hit one or two more, and then I'm going to see if anything else comes into the queue, and we'll go from there. Okay, VZ, Kid Cudi, Swimming in the Light. This was a great comment. This person says, Cudi family will proudly accept you no matter the demographic. I made a joke about that. I had said in that video, I said, I'm probably not in the Kid Cudi demographic that they were looking for from the label. And I don't think I fit into like their marketing scheme. And this guy came out with that comment: the Cudi family will proudly accept you no matter the demographic. Thank you for letting me join. The guy's a great artist. He's very, very talented in a million different ways. And it was a pleasure to break down his music. Um, Thank you. Woogie Boogie, thank you for putting in the work for this. Didn't know it took that much time. Yeah. Thank you. And the truth is, that's what it takes. If I do a song, any song that I've done, I got to put in, like, I'll listen to the song about 20 times. I will go on Wikipedia. I will go on any interview that they've done online, like on YouTube. It takes hours. I'm not going to lie. But if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be giving you the best. I'll be honest about that. When I go into a clinical session, I feel that I'm the best person out there for that. That this person I'm going to be seeing is getting the best possible therapy out there, because I put so much time into reading articles, going to seminars, looking for stuff online, looking for those little nuggets of information that will help me get into somebody's coconut and help that person be successful. So it takes time. That's what a good therapist does. That's what a good social worker should do, is get better and get better and get better. Like you start off as a white belt, so to speak, and you get your first black belt. You don't stop. You get another black belt. You get another black belt. So if I was an MMA, if I was a jiu-jitsu guy, I'd learn how to do wrestling. I learned how to do grappling. I learned how to do boxing. I'd try and get as many ways I could to get talented in mixed martial arts. So it's the same way with anything else. Ali Arsenal, just why? Okay, another one from thank you for the work. Woogie Boogie, want to wrap it up. Of all the songs you've heard so far, do you have a favorite? Please don't be angry. I like Kid Cudi. I like him the best. I like the fact that he's so different musically and he's not pigeonholed. And I know that he gets ripped for that. Like, he's not a purist where he did this with the music, with guitars. But to me, he's just so unique in what he does. I enjoy listening to him. Even if I didn't know him, now that I did, I would listen to him anyway, which I do at work. So yeah, Kid Cudi. And I like Death Grips also, because I just like the fact that they don't care and they're just so themselves. And that kind of took me by surprise. The lyrics are fine and I get what they're doing, but it's just that the fact that they're so like, this is who we are. Either you accept us or you don't. And I love that. And I love that confidence they bring to their music. Ali Arsenal, just want to say, I respect what you do. I feel if most of the music reviews are fake, just for views, we're just on as legit. Oh yeah, we don't know. We're real, man. We're real. We are real. Ali Arsenal, I'm just going to go through these and call it a night. Ali Arsenal, you seem to have a practice in mental health, and these artists you picked are perfect. Thank you. Yes, I have a lot of practice. I'm an LCSW. Yes. B. Van de Don, what do you think about all these new rappers speaking death through their lyrics? I'm going to be talking about that. What they're telling me, though, by speaking about it, they're thinking about it because it's real to them. Schley of the Act, lots of styles of therapy, absolutely. And B. Van de Don, rapper Pop Smoke died yesterday. All his music was preaching violence and murder. We were aware of that, and we're going to focus on that in a little bit to come. So I'm not going to answer any more questions right now. I'm just going to say like this. I'm going to wrap it up. Guys, thank you once again. A very, very successful live chat. Much appreciated. We are coming forward with the mentorship and leadership, and I'm going to be also covering the issue of reliance. Thank you for watching. As always, you comment, I will comment back. And just want to say more live streams are coming as well.